All of this happened in the last 72 hours. We got just in $90 billion asset manager Vanek predicts Ethereum will reach $22,000 by 2030. Just in Robinhood to acquire crypto exchange Bitstamp for $200 million. Just in Robinhood CEO says we believe crypto will fundamentally reorganize the financial system. Just in, Standard Chartered Bank says Bitcoin will reach $150,000 if Donald Trump wins the presidential election. And also CNBC reacting to Roaring Kitty's live stream. And this is all around the GameStop, nonsense, which has been, being spewed to the retail sector for so long now. And what did we get yesterday? Well, we got a $300 million liquidation event from the entire cryptocurrency market in the past 1 hour, and that happened yesterday. But were we surprised? No, because we saw all of this, mainstream media buzz around, crypto, and then we also got the GameStop scenario really kind of heating up speculation around meme coins and how this is going to lead to X, Y, and Z. And although, yes, I still believe that we are going to have a massive alt season and bull run this year, I still think that we need to be cautious within the middle of this to make sure that we are capitalizing on these major moves in the market and also buying the blood in the market, not buying the top of the market. But with that being said, welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Nick. For all those out there that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you are a subscriber. As we look at the overall market, this is a market reset. What does that mean? Well, if we really look at what happened, and if we go over to the cryptocurrency list over on CoinMarketCap, just looking through the 24-hour span, there is one project that is actually green, and that's Monero, and it's up 2% today. If we look at the past 24-hour span, look at all of the red. This, to me, is telling us, hey, guess what? There's a lot of blood out there in the streets. This is when you want to be focused up in this space. This is when you want to be looking at this space. The Fear and Greed Index is still at greed at number 61. Now, is this something that I focus on so heavily to the point where it's like making decisions in the market based off of this? No, but I do think that sentiment has been shifting for a while. And this chop on Bitcoin waiting for the big breakout, above 74K during this entire time, it's time frame shakeout, meaning it's shaking out the impatience. Now, one thing that I did notice as we really look at the overall market, in the top 500 list, last 7 days, there's going to be some green out there. This is what the green looks like. Again, these gains are not significant when we're looking at the altcoin market. Some of these are moving off of like $300,000 worth of volume, so nothing too crazy. Most of these are illiquid projects. But if we look down here, you can clearly see the blood in the last week. A lot of these are meme coins, sure, but there's also some great projects within this that are also down significantly in the last 7 days. This is what a market reset looks like. This is where you start to see those late buyers and those that are, putting longs in at the top of the candles. They're getting liquidated, they're getting wrecked, and it's not a good thing, but it does reset the overall sentiment within the market, meaning you're going to start to see people panicking a little bit, sharing their losses, you name it. Now, as we really look at this, why did altcoins get completely murdered, right? Because Bitcoin did not drop too much. If we go back over here to Bitcoin, it did drop to about like 68 point. I want you all to succeed this alt season. So I put together a full list of tools that you guys can utilize to track where the largest whales are putting their money in this space that could ultimately net you a ton of ROI. I'm also giving out 30 free crypto gems that are fully researched and even broken down into specific risk categories. Both of these guides are completely free. All you have to do is claim your access right now by utilizing one of the links down in the description below. What are you guys waiting for? Make sure that you guys have access to this, especially for this alt season that is nearing. 68.5K, that's what we're seeing on CMC. Again, going from like roughly almost 72K to 68.5K, it's not a massive drop. it's really not a crazy drop. Like when we look at this thing on the 1 month or even on the 1 year, I mean, this doesn't look like much at all. So why did altcoins get completely slaughtered? Well, it was because Bitcoin dominance. The number one thing that I have been sharing within the Discord as well as even on the channel, and more so, I look at this on like the 12-hour. You could also look at it on like the 4-hour, on like the lower time frames. But personally, I have been following this on the 3-day as well as on the 1 week. And if you look at this, yeah, we lost that trend for a little bit of time, but now we have regained momentum above it. And what this is telling us is, guess what? Bitcoin dominance is gaining momentum, which means Bitcoin is gaining momentum against altcoins. The strength of Bitcoin right now is increasing, which if Bitcoin does take another leap to the downside or upside, well, Bitcoin is going to be the one that's successful, not altcoins. And if it does take a leap to the downside, altcoins will follow it very, very close, which means any percentage loss on Bitcoin is amplified towards altcoins. Now, one post that I did see within this market that I did share and found very valuable was from Crypto Nagato. We have $300 million wiped from the crypto market in just the last hour. Classic liquidation cascade, just as the market looked primed to skyrocket. And it really did. Are we surprised about this? No. And we even have. Don't be. Because every single time that the market does get ready to have that massive run up, everyone starts getting extremely bullish. They start leveraging longs. They start throwing their money to the wall, hoping that it sticks and hoping that it grows. And guess what? That's typically when the market wants to reset and take back that money. But we have it straight from the playbook. Market sentiment gets overly bullish. Everyone feels like a genius. They go long when it's too obvious. And that's the thing, right? Too obvious. Like, as we really looked at Bitcoin, the last couple days, everyone was expecting Bitcoin to break out. Everyone was expecting, Bitcoin to go on this massive run. But what they weren't expecting was a reset of the sentiment and then a push to the upside. And then they get shaken out, then the uptrend resumes, setting the stage for a significant move. Moral of the story, if you don't know what you're doing, stay away from leveraged trading, 100%. Imagine getting shaken out before what's coming, madness. And yes, before what's coming is the key, because we are still on par with a massive run up. Now, I did say yesterday, and this is not me being egotistical or anything and saying like, hey, look it, I told you. No, we were not like right on with this. We were not absolutely perfect. But the day before this move happened, I told the free Discord what I was expecting. And this was the screenshot from the Discord. I said, we are still rejecting the upper trend line, which we were on Bitcoin, which was showing weakness. We need to be patient here and have stop losses in place in case we drop into the demand zone and retest the lower trend line. I personally would like for us to drop here and reset open interest and provide us with an even better entry on trades. Market is obviously extremely bullish right now, so this would be good to reset sentiment essentially. Yes, that's what we were looking at. Resetting the sentiment in the market, resetting the entire bullish shift that was happening. And if we look at this post here from Credible Crypto, I actually completely agree with this. I'm going to share with you guys my Bitcoin chart on why I agree with this fully. But we have $56,000, 20% below when this was tweeted and the bottom of the brutal correction. If you are reading this now, you made it through. Downside now limited to 60K in validation and realistically no lower than 62 to 63K, if that, with a high likelihood that this level gets front run as well. I give it about 7 to 10 days before we absolutely gigasend Bitcoin at target 100K plus. And I do think that we will see the like 80 to 90K region on Bitcoin achieved before the end of the summer. Now, what I do like to see here from Credible is realistically no lower than 62 to 63K, if that, and this has a high chance of getting front run. And I do agree with that. In fact, if we go over here to this chart, so the overall trend line on Bitcoin looks like this. I had this a little bit off within the Discord. I had this a little bit lower, just going off of some of the other trend lines here. or off of the other candle wicks here. And this is pretty much what it looked like in the Discord. But looking more so into this, I wanted to move this slightly up to tap the candle bodies here, which gives us a little bit more of an accurate viewpoint. So realistically speaking, we had a retest of this lower trend line at about roughly like 68.4K. We're now in that demand zone though. This demand zone never changed from the Discord. And the reason why I'm actually very happy with the price action that we got was we got into this demand zone. Yeah, the wick was below it, but it still hit this level, which was resistance from like the end of May. So we turned that pretty much into support. If we lose this level, then I am expecting significant lows, meaning we will see this demand zone down here retested, which is around 63 to 65.5K. I do think that we front run the 63K region. We could very well tap this bottom trend line and it will still be above that 63K target that Credible Crypto is saying that we will front run. And this is a macro trend line. This is a lower time frame trend line. This is a higher time frame macro trend line. So this does have a pretty good chance of being targeted. So make sure that you are aware of that. Because if we do lose this bottom trend line up here on the lower time frame and we have something like this, guess what? This will absolutely slaughter the altcoin market. It will give us significant entry levels for maximum profit. But overall, when we look at Bitcoin currently speaking, we have a little bit of work to do, because if we do have another retest of this trend line and we just kind of chop here and then we have that big move to the upside, we still need to clear not only this trend line up here, but we also have to clear that recent high from May 20th, which is right around 70, almost 2K. That's what really was the major point of rejection. Yes, we were still fighting that trend line and we never got a 12-hour close over it either. But this level up here, this wick, that's what really kind of caused us to have this massive sell-off. Again, liquidations will happen and cascade the market. But overall, when we really look at Bitcoin, the overall structure does not look bad. And I do think that we will hold above 63K. In fact, we might just get that 65.5K retest if that is the case. We still need to watch a few things, but that is a possibility. And I just want you guys to understand that, and I want you guys to be prepared in case we do see that. We can never be too safe, and we need to make sure that we are prepared for the downside, but also even the upside. Now, outside of that, XRP, because I know that a lot of people will be mentioning XRP. As we look at XRP, I mean, structure-wise, guys, this thing has not lost structure at all. Overall support, since going all the way back to October, is right around roughly 48.5 cents. We've never had a weekly close below that. I don't believe that we get a weekly close below that this week. But in case we do, right, we could still see this bottom trend line being retested at about roughly like 43.5 cents. Ultimately speaking, my accumulation zone on XRP, where I'm most interested in buying XRP for the long term, is 45 to 49 cents. The reason why I love this level is because if we go back in time, right, this area of interest, although yes, it was resistance at some points in time, this typically leads to profit no matter what percentage you are looking at. For an example, if we have just, a move to this 75 cent zone, nothing crazy at all. And say for so our average is like 47 cents. All right. I know it's a little bit off. It's like 46.9. But even if we just go to this level here at 70, almost 5 cents, it's a 59% gain. I am fine, taking some profits off the table at 59%, depending on how much I'm investing. But if we're also leverage trading this, then yeah, 59% is a significant percentage. Now, I wouldn't really be leverage trading this. I would be spot trading this, if anything. But that's just like the first level. That's like the first major level of resistance. But that's not the target. 92 cents is the macro level at which we are really kind of targeting a major breakout to go back to those 2021 highs. And then from there, if we do retarget those 2021 highs, even if we go to like the all-time high, I'm just going to go off the weekly resistance. So 200 and almost 33%. Nothing too crazy. but it's still a significant gain depending on, like I said, how much money you are investing. But that's why I do like that level. Also, this is a macro bottom trend line going all the way back to March of 2020. I'm hoping that this does hold if we do get a retest of it. If it is lost, focus on that. If this level is lost, then we will most likely retarget significant support from 2022. And we're talking about anywhere between 33, like almost 34 cents, down to possibly like 32 cents. And if we do front run that a little bit, it would probably be about like 36.5 cents. But I do think that this area definitely is a focus of mine, especially for accumulating XRP. Anything under 50 cents long term will be very profitable in my opinion. But outside of the XRP USD chart, we also have the XRP Bitcoin pair. And this thing is, in my opinion, on a massive macro bottom where typically we have a major move to the upside off of. I know that this 2021 candle is a little bit off. This like 2020 into 2021, it's a little off. But I'm going off of the 2017 February candle wick and candle body structure that led to a massive run up in May of 2017. And then we also got that massive run up in December into January. Now, that candle wick, I do think that this was a scam wick. We could still look at it. But for the most part, I'm not really looking at that as a 100%, like, let's go off at that level candle wick. But for the most part, XRP Bitcoin still ranging on the lows, waiting for strength to really kind of be gained. But that's not going to happen until this chart, this Bitcoin dominance chart, breaks down in a very large way. So to really kind of summarize things and not complicate it, we saw bullish headline, bullish headline, bullish headline, bullish headline. Then we had the nonsense happening with, GameStop, and GameStop got halted like 8 times or so. So it was pretty crazy. But for the most part, like, all of this was like bullish news. Even the GameStop narrative was so bullish before open. And guess what? This all led to a cascade of liquidations, which now, in my opinion, fully reset the sentiment within this market, which is what we needed. That's what we wanted to see. And now we really kind of watch for some significant levels to be held before we have that massive run up. And I would agree, like I said, with Credible Crypto on the 7 to 10 day time frame, because like I said, middle of this month is what you want to focus on. So it really kind of aligns perfectly with what I have been addressing, what I have been mentioning as well. So let's see what happens. But with that being said, you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.